Why do some 85-year-olds remain healthy, walking every day, while others, turning 80, can no longer get out of bed? It may sound unbelievable, but death often doesn't come from cancer, heart disease, or stroke. It begins with things that seem harmless. Walter, an elderly man who was a literature teacher, lived to 91. He didn't follow a strict diet, nor did he overexert himself with exercise. But every day, he would walk to the park, chat with the bakery staff, and write letters to his grandchildren. On the other hand, Margaret, his old schoolmate, who was once healthy and sharp, passed away just a few months after turning 80, not due to illness, but because of her quiet withdrawal from life. No longer going anywhere, no one to talk to, no reason to get up early. Her health didn't collapse immediately, but gradually wore down, bit by bit, day by day, until her body gave up. Many people think living a long life is due to good genes or luck. But the truth is even scarier. There are 5 silent reasons that are quietly shortening the lives of millions of people after the age of 80, which almost no one recognizes, not even doctors. If you're taking care of elderly parents, or if you yourself are in your 70s, watch until the end of this video. Because understanding these seemingly small causes can change the way you age and add many more years of healthy, meaningful living. If you're ready to face the truth, let's explore the 5 unexpected reasons that are quietly killing old age, starting with the first reason right after this. Reason number 1, loss of micro-social interactions. When no one greets you in the morning, at 81, Helen left the small house she had lived in for over 40 years to move into a new apartment near her daughter's home. The apartment was more convenient, more secure, and even had an elevator, a feature she'd always dreamed of when her knees started to give her trouble. But within weeks, Helen began to feel something empty. There was no one waving to her when she opened her window in the morning, no more short chats with the bakery owner, no greetings from the mailman or the neighbor who once borrowed her garden scissors. Everything became eerily quiet, and she started to quietly withdraw. There's a term that few mention, but is extremely important. Micro-social interactions. The greetings, the questions, the random smiles on the street. When we're young, we hardly notice them. But as we age, these tiny moments are what keep our minds sharp, our emotions stable, and our hearts warm. When these interactions are lost, the brain begins to experience social malnutrition. The nervous system isn't stimulated regularly, memory declines, and concentration fades. Many people feel like they are becoming invisible in society, and that loneliness quietly drains their life force. The good news is, we can actively restore them. A simple greeting when you meet someone walking their dog. A short conversation with the cashier. Stopping by your local coffee shop instead of ordering online. Sometimes, just making eye contact with someone and smiling is enough to warm your heart. For the elderly, it's not just about politeness. It's a reminder, I am still alive, and I still belong to this world. Reason 2, less movement due to being overly cautious. When being careful becomes the trap that kills life. Robert was once the fastest walker in the neighborhood. Even at 78, he still took care of his garden, walked to church every Sunday morning, and never turned down an invitation to take the stairs instead of the elevator. Then, one early winter afternoon, he slipped when stepping down the stairs. The fall wasn't serious, but the advice that followed left a much deeper mark. Dad, don't go out on your own anymore. It's too dangerous. Let us do it for you. Just rest. From that day on, Robert gradually sat more, walked less. No one told him to stop, but everyone wanted him to be safe. And it was this excessive caution that caused his muscles to weaken rapidly, especially his stomach and back muscles, key for balance. Bending down to pick something up or stepping over a threshold became increasingly difficult. What many don't know is that the human body isn't like a machine that needs rest, but more like a garden. If it isn't watered and moved regularly, it will wither. Each time we stand up, walk, or raise our arms, it's a signal to the brain and nervous system. I'm still active. I'm still needed. The key is controlled proactivity. Use a cane, grab handrails, walk slowly, but don't stop. Climb a few steps every day. Bend down to water plants. Reach up to grab a book. Even small actions can keep the body alert and flexible. Because when we stop moving, life begins to slow down, literally. Reason 3. Disrupted biological rhythm. Due to lack of natural light, when the light disappears, life quietly fades. Margaret, 84, lived alone in a ground-floor apartment. Since her husband passed away, she rarely went outside. Every morning, she sat in the kitchen making tea, but never opened the curtains. During the day, she would nap repeatedly on the couch. At night, she stayed up late watching old programs, with the light from the small TV casting shadows on her wrinkled face. No one noticed, but little by little, her biological clock had shifted. She was going to bed late, struggling to sleep, waking up late, and feeling tired all day. Her mind was foggy, her memory faded, and her mood became irritable and forgetful. Science has shown that natural morning light is an important signal to reset the biological rhythm every day. It acts like the start button for the whole body, signaling the brain when to stay alert and when to produce melatonin for deep sleep. On the other hand, blue light at night, from TVs, phones, LED lights, confuses the brain, making it think it's daytime and stopping the production of sleep hormones. The long-term consequences are poor sleep, fatigue, weakened immunity, brittle bones, and especially a sluggish brain, as if covered by an invisible veil. The solution isn't hard. Just open the curtains to let in sunlight every morning, spend 10 minutes walking outside, sit by the window reading a book. In the evening, reduce indoor lighting after 8 p.m., turn off screens at least 30 minutes before bed. And if possible, use warm yellow lights instead of cold white lights. Because light isn't just for seeing, it's also a way for the body to know when to live fully and when to rest. Don't let each day pass in the dark, both outside and within. Reason 4. Bottling up emotions after a loss. Suppressed grief can slowly make the body wither away. Frank used to be a cheerful man, the life of family gatherings, always joking and making others laugh. But since his wife of 60 years passed away, Frank seemed to retreat into himself. He didn't share his feelings with anyone, never mentioned her, and simply replied, "I'm fine. It's all in the past," when anyone asked how he was doing. But the truth was, he wasn't fine. Emotions, when not expressed, find their way into the body. For Frank, it manifested as persistent stomach pain, sleepless nights, and a feeling of choking every morning when he woke up in the empty house. Doctors couldn't pinpoint a specific illness, but his body was reacting to the grief that had never been voiced. Many older adults think, "I've gotten used to loss. Talking about it won't help," or worse, "No one wants to hear my sadness." But that's a dangerous misconception. Neuroscience shows that bottling up emotions weakens the immune system, increases stress hormones, disrupts digestion, and causes hormonal imbalances. Repressed emotions don't disappear. They simply shift and harm systems in the body. So, speak up. Write a letter, call an old friend, join a community group, pray, or Just quietly recount memories of the one you've lost. Because when shared, the pain is no longer heavy. The heart starts to breathe again, and the body begins to heal itself. If you're still watching this video, comment, "I'm still here," as a gentle affirmation that you're ready to face and heal. And don't forget to subscribe, because the insights that await you are even more valuable. Reason 5. Losing purpose in daily life. It's not illness, but the lack of meaning in each day that slowly kills us. Eleanor used to wake up at 6 a.m. to make breakfast for her husband, prepare snacks for her grandchildren, and in the afternoon, she'd go to the park to play chess with her friends. But after her husband passed, her children moved away, and her friends stopped visiting. She began to stay in bed each morning, with no reason to get up. At first, it was just a dull day, then a week, then months where she just wandered around the house, watched TV, ate just to get by, and went to bed feeling empty. No one said she was ill, but in reality, she was slowly slipping into a state of emotional paralysis. When we lose the small, purposeful routines, our brain no longer activates the motivation system. The immune system weakens, the joy hormones decrease, and the heartbeat slows down, like a machine that has been forgotten. We don't need a grand goal to keep living, just small, meaningful things. Caring for a potted orchid, writing in a journal, reading to grandchildren on the phone, or taking a cake to a neighbor. These little actions signal to the brain, "You're still here, and you still matter." If you've ever seen an elderly loved one become quiet, less talkative, and stop doing anything, they might be losing their daily purpose without anyone noticing. And if you're still watching this video, comment, "I choose to live meaningfully," as a gentle commitment to yourself. Don't forget to follow Life in Words to keep receiving heart-touching stories, because old age is not the end, but a new chapter waiting to be written. After all, what allows someone to live healthily into their 90s is not just good genes or expensive medications. It's the small things done repeatedly every day. A friendly greeting, a slow walk, a morning sun on the skin, a heartfelt conversation. We often fear that major illnesses will take our loved ones away, but sometimes it's loneliness, silence, mélancolie, and the passing days when no one needs us that slowly wear down our vitality in the quietest, most heartbreaking way. Being 80 is not the final stretch. It's just a bend in the road. And if we are sharp enough, loving enough, we can walk that bend beautifully, just like how the sunset can be more glorious than the dawn, if we know how to look up. If you have an elderly loved one, share this video with them. If you yourself are approaching old age, ask yourself, is every day still meaningful? And if the answer is not sure, it's never too late to start again. Leave a comment, "I still have a reason to live," if you agree that meaning in every day is the strongest longevity medicine. And don't forget to subscribe to Life in Words, where stories about old age are not just to be told, but to heal.